Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Arabic 101. We are on class 21. We stopped last on page 56. Your homework was exercise number 1, and it was 22 questions long. We strongly encourage all the time that you guys do your homeworks, read the dialogues, read the exercises, and inshallah ta'ala you will benefit and be able to progress very well. Page 57. اليوم. ما معنى اليوم? Today. Or actually I should say الليلة. For tonight. So الليلة, we will take adding a ضمير to the end of a noun. And the way that is said is إسناد الضمير إلى الاسم. Alright? So here it is. إسناد. We're going to use a plural. الضمائر إلى الاسم. The ضمائر that we're taking on exercise number 2 is this ha, right? It's going to be who. And then we are going to have this long ha over here on the left. This one is for huwa. And this one would be for what? Hiya. Huwa rajulun. Hiya imra'atun. He is a man. She is a woman. All right? So huwa, hiya. By adding who to the end of a word, you're making it his. And by adding ha to the end of a word, you're adding hers. Right? So look at question number 1 on page 57. Open up to page 57. هذه البنت طالبة. Do you guys see that? هذه البنت طالبة. هذه البنت طالبة. And then it says اسم. Do I say اسمه زينب or اسمها زينب? Ismuha, because it's going to say her name. All right? So it makes a big difference. You might think it's like one short little haraka. Ismuhu, ismuha. But it makes it either his or hers. It makes a big difference depending on which one of these you're using. طيب. السؤال الثاني. What's السؤال الثاني? Second question. محمد طبيب. وابن مهندس. وابنه. Muhammad is a doctor. وابنه. His son is ماذا? مهندس. مهندس is an engineer. Alright? What if I say محمد طبيب وابنها مهندس? So all kinds of problems with it. Alright? السؤال الثالث.
Chef, how would you add that hat to the end of webnu? Is it like is there a
We said webnu who. So you're going to take the original word. I'm going to erase this now. You just simply take that word and don't get it confused with a letter. Because you know it's saying his, you have the word ibnu, right? For example, ibnu sounds like there should be a wow somewhere, but do we write it like this? Do we write it like that? We don't. It's the dhamma that's making the oo sound. Similarly, when you add this who, right? And remember, we also said sometimes it could be the same hat, but it'll be he. And it still means his. All right? Oh, sorry. It's okay. طيب. So all you really need to do is attach this to the noon. Ib, and there's the noon, right? We're just going to lay it out straight like that. And we're going to put this hat to the end, and that's what it looks like.
Oh, I forgot that you can do that.
That's it. Ib, nu, hu. So that's all that happened. And this is connected. I know it's partially unconnected. You know, not connected, but it's connected. And the same thing with ha. We took a su'al, no, we're on a su'al الثالث. هذا الرجل تاجر كبير. Right? This man is a big merchant. تاجر كبير. اسمه or اسمها. It's right there. There's no lady named Abdullah. اسمه Abdullah. All right? If it was a female, it would say اسمها Amatullah. I'm surprised you knew that. That's not a lot of people know that. Not even a lot of Arab know that. But you say Ama for a female and Abdun for a male. Amatullah, Abdullah. It's the same. السؤال الرابع. That's 4. آمنة في الغرفة وأمه or وأمها. It's a female. Amin is a woman. So we want to say her mother. You take the word and you have, how do you say her mother? By adding ha to the end of it. Ummuha.
Is it ha alif?
It's the one we wrote earlier here, which was? It was ha alif. Yeah.
So when you edit, it'll be like an 8, right?
It will be like an 8, yes.
Just check that.
Yeah, it's still good to look at it though. I mean, let's just have a look. Ummu, right? And then if you guys are having trouble with how do you write it, okay, you just make a loop and bring it down just like that. Okay? So as you're writing it, you're coming up this way. A lot of the Arabic letters, you don't have to take your hand off the page, right? Like there's sometimes a tendency to like want to, you know, you make the circle and then you want to do an 8. And you're taking your hand off, and really, only when you really have to, should you take it off. And they don't have to be perfect circles.
I like 8.
Yeah. أمها وأمها في المطبخ or في المطبخ or what Muhammad? No. Do I say وأمه? I'm sorry, we already passed that. وأمها في المطبخ or في المطبخ? في المطبخ, because it sounds right or because of what reason? When I heard you say it's fi, I got happy. Because the word fi, do you see it there? You see the fi before matbakh? You see it, Muhammad? Show him. Oh, that fi, if it comes before a noun, it makes the noun majroor, meaning kasra. If you see one of these 5 words, at least these 5, min, ila, an, ala, and fi. If one of these 5, we took ba and we took li. There's still more letters. But if these come before a word, it means whatever's after it is kasra. Okay? Memorize these.
So ma'a is not one of those?
Ma'a is not. Ma'a is considered a dharf. But it does the same things as this one. Okay? Meaning it's talking about a place. السؤال الخامس. عائشة طبيبة وأختها ممرضة. عائشة طبيبة. What is that? Aisha's a doctor. وأختها. What's أختها?
Her sister.
Her sister. ممرضة is a nurse. ممرضة means nurse. السؤال نعم. مطبخ. Oh, you didn't take that with us? مطبخ is kitchen. All right. السؤال السادس. خرج محمد من الفصل وخرج معه زميله or زميلها. زميله. Because it's talking about Muhammad. Right? So you want to say his زميل. ما معنى زميل? Classmate. زميل is your classmate. So you say زميله, زميلها, زميلكم. Right? And now it says هاتي خمسة أسئلة وأجوبة كالمثال الآتي. It wants 5 examples like the following sentence. أعندك قلم؟ نعم عندي قلم. Your guys' question or the exercise you did already had 5 questions. أعندك كتاب؟ أعندك قلم? The example that was on, page 56 already had that. So I'm not going to ask you guys to do that again. But that's how you ask somebody if they have something. عندك, عندك سيارة, عندك عمل, عندك بيت, right? Just anything that you have. What if you want to say a person?
ألك.
ألك, ألك أخ, ألك أخت, ألك زوجة.
نعم لي.
No, he's thinking about one. He's drifting off thinking لا ما عندي زوجة. طيب. But it's correct if you say نعم عندي or I'm sorry نعم لي or لا ما لي. All right, let's continue. هاتي 5 أسئلة وأجوبة كالمثال الآتي. Same thing as before, except instead of saying what do you call it? نعم, you're saying لا. So if you say لا, look at this. We're using the harf ma to negate. So he says عندك. What's the word he used? بيت or قلم or what? قلم. Do you have a قلم? Correct? He said لا. ما عندي قلم. All right. So let's look at this sentence here. لا, and you have a little comma here. It's to mean no. Where's I do not? Right? ما عندي. Ma is used for negation, right? To say no, not to say no, but to say not. And عندي, I have, right? And this can be do not. I do not have. All right? أي قلم. All right, this is very good here. أضف الأسماء الآتية إلى المتكلم والمخاطب والغائب والغائبة. So it says أضف. ما معنى أضف? Right? It means attach, add. أضف means attach or add. As you can see at the top of the thing, it says add الأسماء الآتية, the following nouns, إلى المتكلم. What's متكلم? The speaker. You guys better write that down above it. متكلم, write down speaker. المخاطب, right? The one being spoken to. مخاطب is spoken to. And غائب is absent.
Oh, we did this before.
That's right. But the way I translated it for you guys was first person, second person, and third person.
Is this on the test, sir?
This right here?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But you need to identify what is first, second, third. So I'm speaking right now. What does that make me?
Speaker.
The mutakallim. I'm speaking to you guys. What does that mean? Mukhatab. With a fatha on the ta. Mukhatab. All right? And lastly, the ghaib is the one who's absent. That's third person. Nadim, ghaib, is absent. Very good. So what we're going to do is we are going to take the ya, the kaf, the hu, and the ha. 4 dama'ir. When I add a kaf to the end of a noun, what does that mean? Who am I talking to? I'm talking to you. I'm talking to anta. Right? That's mukhatab. If I add a, what's the next one? Who? Okay, now if we add a ya to the word,
Yourself.
I'm talking about myself. And what's the dhamir here?
Speaker. متكلم.
Mutakallim. And the dhamir is for ana. Next, we're going to add who.
He.
Who am I talking to?
Is.
And what category does he fall under?
Man.
That's man, correct. But out of those three that we mentioned, متكلم, مخاطب, or غائب?
No, not غايب. متخبط.
No, he's. Are we talking to هو?
Oh,
غائب. He's not here. هو خارج. He's outside. You're not talking to him. He's not here. And lastly, we have for female, ha, and it's for which? Hiya. And is this غائب, متكلم, or مخاطب? غائب. See, what are you worried about? You know them all. So maybe we should put on the test, huh? No. All right, here we go. It says قلم, and then it says هذا قلمي. Whose قلم does it belong to?
Mine.
أنا. It belongs to me. All right. هذا قلمك. This is your pen. هذا قلمه.
This is his pen.
His pen. And هذا قلمها.
This is her pen.
This is her pen. Now, guess what we have to do? No homework. It's too early for homework. You guys need classwork now. Yeah, you guys need classwork. We're gonna finish this chapter, inshallah, and then we'll give you guys some homework. Starting with mudaffar. Take kitab and do like we did before. Everyone's gonna do 2, so we can get through everybody. أسرع, quickly.
هذا كتابي.
هذا كتابي and
هذه كتابك.
why هذه?
هذا كتابها. كتابك.
كتابك.
Your book.
Your book. Very good. Umar, do the next 2.
هذا كتابه.
Mm-hmm.
هذا كتابها.
This is his book and this is her book. Kalim.
هذا سريري.
Mm-hmm.
هذا سريرك.
Good. This is my bed and this is?
His bed.
No, not his.
Oh, your bed.
Your bed. Amir.
هذا سريره.
سريره. His bed. Very good.
هذا سريرها.
هذا سريرها. Very good. مصطفى. اقرأ.
هذا اسمي.
Mm-hmm.
هذا اسمك.
Very good. Try to connect them a little bit faster. هذا اسمي and هذا اسمك.
هذا اسمك.
Mm-hmm. So that way we get rid of hamzatul wasl. We get rid of it. It's still correct if you say هذا اسمي هذا كذا. But I want you to get in the habit of hearing it so you know what it's supposed to sound like. All right? Abdul Majid.
هذا اسمه.
Mhm.
هذا اسمه.
هذا اسمه هذا اسمها. This is his name and this is her name. Ya Sayyid.
هذا منديلي.
Mm-hmm. Mindili. My kerchief.
هذا منديلك.
Mindiluka. Very good. Billand.
هذا ابن هذا ابني.
Good. هذا ابني. Oh, did you do the last?
Finish last 2.
Do it for Mindil. The last 2 from هذا. Everyone's doing 2 each.
هذا منديله. هذا منديلها.
Very good. هذا منديله and منديلها. Abdullah.
هذا ابني. هذا ابنك.
هذا ابني وهذا ابنك. This is my son. This is your son. You want to give it a try?
Yes.
You have your book in front of you? All right, good. We're on still Ibn.
هذا ابنه.
Mm-hmm.
هذا ابنها.
هذا ابنه وهذا ابنها. Very good. And just like we said earlier, whenever we say words like هذا ابن, well actually it's ibnuhu, for example. These hamzas, they're called hamzas, even, they're alifs, right? But we call them, hamzatul wasl. Well, actually, this one is an alif. All right? But anyways, so whenever we're reading, we just pass by them, right? So it'll just be straight from ha-dhab, straight over here. Ha-dhab-nu-hu. And it's still correct if you say hadha ibnuhu, right? But like I said, if you hear other people saying it, you're not going to catch it because you're expecting him to say what? هذا ابنه. And he's going to say هذا ابني. And you're going to say, I'm sorry, what'd you say? So that's why I keep bringing this up. But very good.
So what about when you write it? Do you put the alif there too, or the hamza, or yeah?
Well, what does this tell you?
You do write it.
Answered your own question, brother. It's only for speaking purposes.
What about on the test? We took it off.
What'd you take
The
off?
one that everyone got wrong, or most people got wrong.
That was tufahun, no?
Apple. No, not the with the ibn.
Between two nouns.
No, that was specific for. Oh, nice try. That was specific for. What is this alif in between two names? Yeah.
Names only.
It was in between two names. We said like Muhammad, Ibnu, right? We're going to use the word Hamid, or the name. So only here did it disappear, and that disappeared not because we're not reading it, but because this Ibn came in between two names,
Okay.
right? That's why we got rid of it.
It's a solid name.
Muhammad bin Hamid. Who do we stop on? Abdullah? No, Ja'far. Oh, we got Muhammad all the way. Muhammad and Salat. We can't forget about them. Give me something with
هذا السيارة. هذا سيارتي. هذا سيارتك.
Sayyaratuka. Excellent. Salat. Finish the last two.
هذا سيارته.
Mm-hmm.
هذا سيارتك.
Sayyaratu. Ha. All right. This is his car. This is her car. This is my car and this is your car. That's what we've been learning to do this whole time. If I give you guys any word, a word you've never heard before, you should still be able to attribute it to the right person. All right? Have you guys heard of the word darajatun? Oh, okay, so you have. Let me give you something else. How about something like, what is it? Well, you've heard it already. Let me give you something you haven't heard before, so that way, I'm going to use our guest, Muayyad. Give us a word, a noun, that maybe none of the brothers here have ever heard of before. Just a regular object. Tawila. Let's use tawilatun. Huh? Tawilatun. I want you to say, hold on, before we learn the meaning. I'm going to grab you. I want you to say her tawila.
هذا طاولة.
Well, don't say hada because tawila is female.
هذه
هذه.
طاولتها.
Tawilatuha. So he's putting the sentence together. He doesn't even know what the word means, that's what we're learning, how to put the sentence together.
What is mama?
Tawila means a table, like what they have. هذه طاولة. Table. So very good. And that's the point, that you guys are not going to learn every single Arabic word, but at least you'll be able to know where the word ends and where the word begins, right? So if you come across that somewhere in the Quran, you'll understand that, okay, here is the dhamir and here is the noun. So you don't look up the whole word with who or ha or hum. You look in the dictionary and you say, I don't see it there. All right? Next we have sayyaratun, right? No, we did sayyara. Miftahun. Back in Salat you did yours? All right. Mudaffar. You're a listener today, right? Or you want to...
هذا مفتاحك. هذا مفتاحه. هذا مفتاحها.
I wasn't paying attention actually. On sayyara, did we say hada or...
هذه.
We said هذه?
Say هذا.
Okay, if we were saying, because it was going by kind of quickly, on sayyaratun, it should be هذه سيارتي. And هذه سيارتك. And هذه سيارته. And هذه سيارتها. I'm not sure if I was catching that earlier. All right.
هذا مفتاحه. هذا مفتاحها.
I didn't hear it on the miftahu.
مفتاحه.
That's right.
هذا مفتاحه.
It sounds hard to say, but that's how you say it. Miftahu.
Example.
Who? Not apple.
Chef,
Key.
Key.
good question. On sayarati, is there a ya at the end still? Because of
For mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way you can make it yours if you put the yeah.
Okay.
So miftahuhu. You see it? If you stop, you're not gonna really hear this hat. This hat, if you stop on it and you say with a sukoon, mif, here we go, this is a fa, ta. Okay. So in the Arabic language, we know that we normally stop on what? Sukoon. At the end of a word, we stop on a sukoon. You don't say kitabun, you say kitab. You don't say qalamun, you say qalam. Alright? But I'm teaching you guys these harakat so you know what it's supposed to be. Even if you make it a sukoon, you know what's really there written. When I say this, miftahuhu, his key, correct? Listen to this. Miftahuh. Miftahuh. You guys heard that?
Yeah.
Now saying that quickly, unless you're trained to hear that, you're not going to hear it. You would just think it's, if he said, Aina miftahuh.
Where's key? But it is
Where-
really, where's his key?
Where's his key? Aina miftahuh. You heard it? So I wouldn't say Aina miftahuhu. I would say Aina miftahuh. Aina qalamuh. Aina kitabuh. You heard? You guys can hear that?
Yeah.
There you go. You're getting
That's
new.
really said.
Huh? That's how it's really said. All right? Now, if I was to continue a word after it,
That's hard, man.
what's al-jadid mean?
The new.
Yeah. So I'm asking, where's his new key? Right? So I should say like this, miftahuhul jadidu. Aina miftahuhul jadidu. But when you hear people speak, they are not going to say this harakah, nor are they going to say the last harakah. They're going to say, Aina miftahul jadid. It's miftahuhu al-jadidu. Right? The correct way, if he stops here, Aina miftahuhu al-jadid. That's correct. If they say, Aina miftahul jadid. It sounds like there's no ha there. I mean, no ha, right?
It's just where
It's new key.
It sounds like where's the new key? But it's correct. It's actually supposed to be miftahuhul jadid. And this way there's no confusion where you turn around and say, huh, what'd you say? You know. Because if it's spoken properly, miftahuhul jadid. No, he's going to get confused with that. It's clear. Aina miftahul jadid. Sorry. Who? Your new key? Whose key?
Jeff.
Yes.
Is that not a man'ud? Since it's saying new key? Would it not has come out in man'ud? This is describing the key.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
This is miftah. This is the mubtada. Miftahuhu, and it's mudaf. This is mudafun ilay. This is the khabar.
Because it was not in man'ud. Like you can't do new key. Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yes, I know.
So you say al.
But we would have said something like al miftahul jadidu. Al miftahul jadidu.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same.
That would be if it's not, then like.
It'd be al miftahu. But since we're attributing this right here is a part of a sentence,
Takes over.
it's gonna be its own thing, and this is gonna be its own thing. Yeah, I don't like to get too deep into grammar. It makes people sleepy. We will, I promise. There's plenty of it. There's a whole book that's 2 or 3 times this size, and the next one. But right now is just the basic sentence structures.
So is this like nahwiya? Is this what that is?
Word nahu is the haraka of the last word. That's what nahu is. So what you're learning is not only are you learning a little bit of nahu, but a little bit of comprehension. And mostly for this chapter, I want you to learn comprehension.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but you are learning nahu because learning, we do take it. But once it starts getting into identifying if the na'at comes first or comes second, and if it's going to match a mudaf and mudafun ilay, it requires a lot more description. Look, he's yawning already. Well,
No. It's not true.
Yeah, okay. Yedun. That's you now, right? Callum? Is it yed?
So it's yadi.
So we need hadha or hadihi.
Hada yadi.
Okay.
Hada yaduka.
So you're
No, I'm sorry, hadihi, because it's a.
They were all waiting for
It's
you.
a pair.
We were all waiting to trap you. Yedun is female, and you say because you have two, it's a pair, so you say hadihi yedun, hadihi aynun, hadihi udhunun, right? Hadihi rijlun, because there's a pair, and whenever it's a pair, it is female. If it's single, hada anfun, you say hada. All right, that's clear, Jaffa. I know you're coming in late, but just try to. Alhamdulillah. طيب. He said, هذه يدي وهذه يدك. Correct? Amir.
هذه يده
يد.
يده هذه يدها
هذه يده وهذه يدها. This is yad, and we add his, يده, and then we add for hers, يدها. اقرأ. So good. اقرأ لي لك له and لها. And this is simply just the same thing, but using li. All right? It means for me, for you, right? Or it also means I have. The literal meaning, like we said, means for you or for her. But it means I have. Does that make sense?
Sometimes for me or for I have, right?
Yeah, it'll be... له, this lam is a harf jar that is added to mean for. Okay? And then this hu is the dhamir for his. And then it becomes lahu at the top. Now, lahu akhun. The literal meaning is for him is a brother. But that's too hard to say. So interpreting it, it means he has a brother. Okay? He has a brother. If I wanted to say this is for Muhammad, so I can show you how for is being used, right? هذه, this is لمحمد.
هذه.
Just for example, if I'm saying like a bag, حقيبة. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
هذه لمحمد. Does have work for Muhammad here? Or does for work for Muhammad here?
For.
It makes more sense to say this is for Muhammad, like this bag is for Muhammad. And it doesn't work to say this bag is Muhammad's. Does that make sense? It still works, but this is where you can see for being used instead of has. All right? Meaning like at the end of the English language, Muhammad, right? If we want to say this is his, what do? So that's basically what this is. That's it.
You would never use inda.
Is with him, if it's with him.
This is like he owns it. But it's his.
All right. So I mean, sometimes have, I have, he has, and sometimes it'll be for. All right. When we were talking about, when we were talking about having a sibling, right? You want to say I have using li or laka. Li ukhtun wahidatun. I have one sister. ألك أخ لا ما لي أخ. Do you have a brother? No, I don't have a brother. أختي لها طفل صغير. What does that mean? أختي, my sister, لها, she has, or for her. طفل صغير.
Small baby.
So she has a small طفل, infant or child. طفل is like a child, all right, or an infant.
Tahir, you say? Tahir.
طفل.
Tiflun.
طفل.
Tahir is small?
صغير is small. That's an old word.
New to me.
No, it's not. That's an old word, brother. زميلي له أخ وأخت. زميلي, my classmate. Yeah. له أخ وأخت. Yes. And then you go to the next page at the top, page 59. He says, نقول, we say. What does نقول mean? We say. عندي كتاب. ونقول لي أخ. And we say, I have a brother. And لا نقول. What is لا نقول? We don't say عندي أخ. And we don't say عندي. You use لي, not عندي. Does that make sense? If you want to say I have a brother, don't say عندي أخ. Say لي أخ. All right? Now we're taking مع. All right? مع is used to say with. Anything that comes after مع is going to be مجرور.
Yeah.
All right? Look at number 1. خرج حامد مع خالد. All right? So it says خرج means who left? Hamid exited with Khalid. All right? And ma'a is used to say like something that's done simultaneously. At the same time. They went out together. All right?
I thought it was kasra. Instead of like halidun. Halidi. But it's halidin.
It's majroor.
Takes that meaning.
Remember, majroor means it's either going to be kasra or kasratain. Kasratain for words that can accept kasratain, like Khalid. And kasra for words that cannot accept kasratain. Like a word that has alif and lam attached to it. Like baytun, al-baytu. ذهب الطبيب مع المهندس. Right? We wouldn't say al-muhandisin because it has alif and lam. So, ذهب الطبيب. The doctor went with the engineer. جلس المدرس مع المدير. The mudarris, no, sat is past. The teacher sat with the principal.
Jalasa is always past.
Huh?
It's just in this case.
No, jalasa is always past. ذهب is always past. خرج is always past. And these are nouns you guys absolutely must know.
It's always in that state, right? Like,
It's a lot of times it's in that same form. Fatha is a verb. Jalasa, kharaja, dhahaba, kataba, akala.
Jalasa al-mudarrisu ma'al mudiri.
That's right. Number 4. Man ma'aka ya aliyu. What do we learn about ma'aka? You can also use it like inda.
Who's with you?
Mhm. You can use it like inda. Indaka, indi, ma'ahu, ma'i. Right? Meaning it will accept the dhamir.
My classmate.
It says I have, ma'i zamili. With me, it's my classmate. Aminatu ma'aha zawjuha.
I mean, if it was with her husband.
Oh.
Yeah, Aminatu with her is her husband. Yeah, ma'aha with her, zawjuha, her husband. All right, number 6. خرج أبي من البيت. My father left from the house. من خرج معه. خرج معه عمي. All right? My uncle went out with him. In this exercise number 8, let's see. It's just telling you about adding the same thing, the same dhamir like we did earlier, which it says baytun and baytuka. Baytuhu, baytuha, bayti. And it's just telling you what we did earlier, adding it to his house, my house, your house, and so on and so forth, okay? Now, here's something unique, and it is with words that are known as al-asma'ul khamsa. Yes, that's right. The 5 names. And sometimes they say 6 names, but we're just going to stick with 5 because the 6th one's a bad word. Huh?
Can I see if I can remember shit?
You have them? What do you got?
Abuka.
All right. Tell me all right. I'm just going to put this version of it. Abun. Go ahead. Next one.
Akhun.
Akhun. Just tell me what you know. In the form you know, I'll correct it. Abuka, akhuka, and then?
Fuka.
Okay.
Umel.
Dhu. Next.
Habuka.
And Hamu. All right. So, these are known as al-asma' al-khamsa. The only ones that concern us today are these ones right up here.
So what are they again? 5 names of what?
They're nothing.
We haven't gone over it yet.
There are only 2 names for today. They're 2 days. He's right. This is all we need. Because what's in the book is this. Right? No, you're going to get just these 2. We're taking Abun and Akhun. They are part of the 5 names. The 5 names are called 5 names because they do something special. Like when something is marfu' in a regular name, what does it end with? It ends with a dhammatain, right? These words are special in the sense that when they become marfu' and they are mudaf. Huh? When they're marfu' and mudaf, what does it mean to be mudaf? If I want to say your dad, right? So what am I going to do to add? To say your dad?
Okay.
Kaf, right? Do I write it like this? Abuka? Abuka?
You had wow somewhere?
That's what happens. So that's why I said these 5 nouns. These 5 nouns are special because they do that. They do this. Abuka. Huh? What do you think is going to happen over here? It's not going to be like this. This is wrong, and this is wrong. This is correct over here. Akhuka.
Why?
Just the way it is.
You know, I expected that question from one of these 2.
Why is it?
You want to know the real reason?
Yeah.
Because the origin in the Arabic language is that there are no 2-letter words. Did you notice about things like fi and min? They're all what? 2 letters. But they don't call them words. They call them what? Harf. They call them letters. What do you notice here? What are these?
2.
That's 2 letters. So they should be where? They should be with the huruf. But the truth is, and you asked, so prepare yourself. The origin of this word is actually aba one. That's the real, it's a 3-letter word. But it's too hard to say, abawun. It's too hard to say akhawun, but there is a what there? There's a wow. And that wow only returns whenever it's mudaf.
It's only yours, not
Only-
his, her.
No, it'll come back for like, yours female, akhuki, right?
Akhuki, right?
Yeah, akhuki, abu. There's some more. Don't worry about it now. Just for now.
What is it when it's in its original state? What's it called? Starts with an N. Is it
A what?
marfu' or is it something else?
They're always, even here's marfu'. But I'm talking about in its original state, like when I say original, like what the originality of that word is.
Is there a word for that?
Like, yeah, no, it's asluhu, it's origin. It's origin.
We already learned. That's
No. When I say its original state, I'm referring to marfu',
Okay. That's
right? But if I'm saying the origin of the actual word, and that's what we have here, is abawun, and what do you think this one is? Akhawun. Right? So, abuka and akhuka. But very good on remembering those asma al-khamsa.
This is your dad.
All right. Let's look at it. It says, look at abun, everybody. Abuka and abuhu. You see that comes back also, that wow, for his dad. Abuha, her dad. And look what happens when it's my dad. That wow doesn't show up. It can't overpower the ya. Abi, my dad. Akhun, akhuka, akhuhu, akhuha, and akhi. Very good. Homework is read the rest of the chapter. From 1 all the way to the end of the chapter.
Until the vocab.
From one, what?
From right there, number 1 on page 59. Just read it till the end. Very easy homework today. I'll make sure to have something real special for you on Tuesday where you have all week. All right? We do have class tomorrow.
No, not revision, man.
What?
Not revision.
We're completing the chapter. We won't be done in one day in revision.
Yeah. So we're gonna start next week.
Maybe. We'll see how it goes. Oh, I got a good idea. We'll do some exercises tomorrow, like some dialogue. Yeah, that'll be good. All right. Inshallah, we'll see you all tomorrow. Barakallahu feekum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.